your boy Tay, aka Finance Apprentice, aka Life of the Party, aka if it's a drink, I'ma have it. So what's up, y'all? It's your boy Tay, aka Finance Apprentice, aka Life of the Party, aka if it's a drink, I'ma have it. I ain't got my drink right now, y'all, but best believe it's not too far away. First and foremost, y'all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. Second, I want to introduce to you guys the people that I have sitting with me today. I got your girl, Chantrice Sherelle, and I got your girl, Connie J, a.k.a. Miss Jackson, baby. Let's go. Y'all, today we are going to talk about some real juicy business. We're going to talk about some things that some people might not want to hear, but it's reality and it's things that you have to accept at the end of the day.
Gotta face reality.
I don't
know, that was in my spirit right there.
Gotta face reality. It was a harmonization.
Go right there.
So, y'all, first and foremost, we just like to have a good time. We really like to have a good time. We're people, we're trying to be about our business. We're just trying to break generational curses. We're trying to do everything that's right for ourselves. And we also trying to help the community at the end of the day. But enough about us. I'm going to let your girl, Chantrice Sherelle, speak about what really made her start YouTubing. So, first and foremost, we want to know about your experience at the seminar in Atlanta meeting Mia Ray.
Okay. So, if you haven't already, check out my YouTube video where I talked about just the faith walk that I've been on in terms of just getting up and doing stuff, not being afraid to take chances. My YouTube is I am Chantrice Sherelle, and the vlog that I did when I went to Atlanta to meet Mia Ray is there. But in a nutshell, it was an amazing experience. I feel as though it was just one of those moments that I'll always remember as me just stepping out on faith and doing what felt right. I think one of the themes in my life is not always having like the why behind things, but just really walking and trusting that the things that I want in life are gonna happen. I just have to continue to stay moving because God can only work when we are in motion. And
that is so true.
Yep.
And when you say the faith perspective of the situation, it takes a lot of faith to go to a different state by yourself at that. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call Connie, Bonnie, Jane. I'm going to say, hey, I'm about to go on this trip. Y'all trying to tag along because it may be I'm not going to say I'm scared, but sometimes I feel a type of way when I have to go to a certain place alone. But I just want that extra person to make me feel confident about it or make me feel safe.
But you know what's crazy about that? And that's why I always say, like, the things that we experience in life are always preparing us for what's to come. I remember I was graduated. Okay, I was like 23 or 24. And I had went to the Bahamas with my cousins, got there, wasn't really feeling the situation for whatever reason, a few reasons. And I went home.
They won't be a petty Wednesday day, because you know you can go on trips and then you get on the trip and you be like, girl, I wish I wouldn't have came on this shit.
No, but I got there and I was just like, I think I was in the Bahamas for like 24 hours and I actually drove to the airport because I remember I had booked my flight there through Expedia. When I realized that I was ready to go home, I couldn't get through to Expedia, but I was, you know how you can see like the flights that were
available to go out.
Right. So I got an Uber or whatever the mode of transportation over there was to the airport, went to the counter, booked my flight back home, and I traveled by myself back home. I think I was like 22 or 23 back then.
Oh, you was feeling a really bad vibe.
Yeah. But looking back at that situation, like that was preparing me to do stuff by myself, and I didn't even realize it.
You don't have to wait on that person to do it. And that's the type of predicament I want to be in. Say, for instance, if I go on a trip, I want to be financially stable and responsibly stable to go on a trip. And if somebody acting funny towards me, or if I don't feel the vibe right then, and my flight not supposed to leave out until Thursday, bitch, and it's only Tuesday, I'm
out of here. That's why you never go away from home without being able to get back. That's what I tell everybody. Like, don't go anywhere unless you know you can get back. And it wasn't even about, I think it was more so about me at that time. Like, I don't even know if it was really, like, in retrospect, I don't even know if it was about them. I think that was my first time being out of the country, and so I had my own anxieties about whatever. So I really think that's more so what it was about. But
Mm-hmm.
the theme remains the same. That was used to really
Prepare
show me
you.
that I can navigate by myself.
Right.
I remember I got to TSA and I was like, "Girl, you been here 24 hours. What you was doing over here?" And I was like, "Fuck, can I go home, nigga?"
I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
So how did the people that travel with you feel when you announced to them that you were leaving?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I think what I did was
She's a roll and bounce bitch.
Okay.
I was shady, but that's
Mhm.
again. I was 23 and I wasn't comfortable with saying this ain't working for me. I'm out.
Mhm.
It was. I think I ghosted, and I think I left, and then they got back and I don't know. It wasn't smart. The way I moved in that
You wish you
situation
would've
wasn't
moved
smart.
differently.
But I wasn't okay with saying like I'm not feeling this, and I think too I didn't understand energy back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one of those things where maybe
energy.
I didn't feel comfortable. Like I couldn't really explain why I wasn't feeling it,
Mhm.
and so I chose not to.
Yeah.
That'd be hard. Sometimes you gotta just.
Sometimes you
like,
just gotta go with the flow.
yeah.
At
That
the
was
end
your
of the
day.
day. So y'all heard about that. Constance, I want to ask you an experience where you have felt uncomfortable in a
Many.
certain predicament.
I've had many.
And me too.
More specifically.
Shoot, that's a good question. Let me think.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be travel or just any experience?
Any experience traveling? I was put in a really bad situation, you guys, at one time. It's like the worst experiences can happen on a vacation.
Mm.
I was put in a bad, I'm not going to really put the situation out there, but I was put in a bad situation one time where two people had got to fussing the last day before the end of the trip. And I was in a situation where I didn't know how to react.
Mm.
And things like that can kind of put people at a edge. You know, not really an edge, but can kind of put you
It's
in a funny
uncomfortable,
situation.
yeah.
It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
At that point, I wasn't financially stable to like say, I'm leaving, fuck y'all, I'm leaving all of y'all and I'm getting my flight out of Puerto Rico tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't in that position to do that. But that experience has taught me who to vacation with and who to
That's
not
it right there.
vacation with as well.
That's true.
So, but we want to hear you. Do you have an experience?
Yeah, I have a few. So the one I can think of right now, I know one time I was leaving a job,
Mm-hmm.
and so they decided to throw, I guess like a little bye to say goodbye, farewell.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all decided to get together and go to this club. I don't remember the name of the club, but it was a lot of beef between certain people. Like this
Okay.
friend and that friend didn't like each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I was kind of like in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
One of the friends I brought their relative along. So as we are going through the night, you can feel like
Tension.
it was like tension
The
there.
energy, uh-huh.
Yes, and you know when drinks get involved,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
And don't let the right song come on.
Okay, nothing involved. We're not playing that
Or
tonight.
some Meek Mill.
Okay, so we driving back. We made it through the night, right?
Mhm.
You could tell it's a little tension, like little things were being said, but nobody was catching it really.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So we're driving back home, and we're all in the same car. And, somebody starts talking, and saying, you got a problem with my cousin. I said, oh my God. And at the time, it's like, what do I do?
Mhm.
Because I'm cool with you and I'm cool with you.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're caught in between two perspectives.
Right.
You are really caught in between two perspectives. And then the thing that I don't get with, I'm siding with the person that I feel like is right.
Right.
Fuck that family shit.
Why do you feel like you gotta take sides at all?
Because at the end of the day, you feel like you don't have to take sides.
And that's something I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm getting much better with letting people sit. Like that's their situation. Like y'all can fuss. I'm gonna drink mine. I'm gonna sip on my.
I'm gonna still
martini.
sip.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in that moment, I felt like I didn't say anything in that moment, but then the next morning, I felt like I had to say something
Mm-hmm.
because number one, y'all in my car, okay?
Okay.
And this is my
Everybody can walk.
Right. This is
All
supposed
y'all
to be
can
about
walk.
me
Mhm.
saying for what we supposed to be having a good time.
Who was talking about?
All right, so we were talking. Constance is going to start our conversation where she was saying they were in my car.
Yeah.
There was her toot toot, and then her beep beep.
All right, so you were saying they were in your car.
They was in my car.
Mhm.
So I felt like the next day I think one of the friends called me. And so I just had to say something. I had to because
It was on your conscience.
it was on, yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you in my space, I'm responsible ultimately for what goes on in my
That's
space.
true.
So I was like, no, we can't do that. You know, like
Yeah.
you was wrong
Mhm.
and you don't do that no more.
But how did that person feel against you after you expressed your feelings as well?
We just talked about it. She was just like, I mean, she explained to me or whatever. Because another thing I didn't like, it was 2 against 1 because it was her and her cousin. The cousin don't even know her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
So
mad.
why are you even speaking about it?
Just mad.
Right. Just mad for no reason. Like, come on now. So I was just like, no, we can't do that no more. Because what if that would have escalated?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See, my issue is I never know if I'm being too passive about stuff or if this
Yeah.
is a level of maturity that I
Right.
have. Because I don't be caring.
Me
y'all
either.
Arguing, that's
Right?
for y'all. I don't
I'm just the
argue.
person where I want to be blind to the situation. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, I want to be blind to it.
I can't, if it's people I don't really know, like say right now,
Mhm.
if people in my job get to arguing, that ain't none of my business.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'll get my popcorn and sit back. But if it's 2 people I care about and I know them personally and I know both sides of the story, it's like I can't just sit back, especially if you know they're just misunderstanding each other.
Mhm.
It's like y'all really don't know, like y'all kind of like the same. If y'all just understand the other side, you would
Right.
not be fighting.
Right.
So it's like I can't just sit back and just be quiet.
It's all started over negative energy.
But you know what I realized in an argument? Everybody has the same point of view, but it's just at opposing ends of the situation.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, if you think I'm wrong because I'm
such
telling you
and
the
such.
sky's blue,
Mm-hmm.
you think I'm wrong because you think the sky's not blue. So we both agree. I can't explain. So we both agree.
To disagree.
No.
No.
But you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. They both have the same intention, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The intentions are the same, but because they're on different sides
Right.
of the situation, they see it as a clash. It's really y'all going the same direction.
Right.
Y'all just.
But what if that person likes to nag? Likes to be the.
They need to
star?
go.
See, I don't deal with people like
I mean,
that.
I can't.
Mhm.
They need to go.
I can't. Because I don't like that type of energy around me. And I don't like to get myself to the point where I'm worked up about situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to let so much stuff I used to let so much stuff bother me. But now I'm just like,
I have come numb to a lot of situations. The reason that I have come numb, and it goes back to when you guys said, if it's not your business, you don't really worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you something. People will put more on you than you can put on yourself.
that's true. If you allow them to, that's true.
If you allow a person to, they will put more on you. But at the end of the day, I've always come from the place where I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I always try to see the next person's perspective on the situation as well.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you can allow a person to receive too much of your energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you call leeches.
What is it called again?
Leeches.
Leeches.
People
If
will
that
suck your
nigga
energy.
don't work, he a fucking leech.
Y'all gonna get sad. Don't bring up Dolph.
Rest in peace, Dolph. Rest in
I'm
peace,
get
Dolph.
sad. I'm get real sad.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's some real shit what you guys spoke. And at the end of the day, that's just a life lesson that you cannot give people all your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You simply cannot give people all your energy because it will drain you at the end of the day, and it will have you up all night thinking about what the fuck did I do?
Oh, I get my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we can position ourselves to be present for people, but by setting boundaries. Like, I don't want to hear your problem more than twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's come up with a solution. You know what I mean? Like, just small things like that, I think have been helpful in situations where, like, maybe I'm talking to a friend that's having an issue and, you know, they want advice or they want me to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, something I'm learning too is to ask, okay, do you just want me to listen or do you want solutions?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people just need a sounding board, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as making other people's problems my own,
Yeah.
I ain't
No,
in that
it's
business.
option.
That ain't my ministry no more. Like, I can't. Because sometimes you get more invested in the solution than the other person is.
Yes.
Some people like being stuck in misery.
That's
They like drama. I can't do it. And that's just like, as we continue to get older, I think those are small things that we learn, and we learn how to navigate through those situations. But
Right.
That's the truth. I know for me, it came to the point where you ever had someone who's been going through the same thing for years.
I was that person at one time.
But then it's like,
My relationship.
you keep telling, and you keep coming and complaining about it. After a while, it's like, don't ask me about your situation.
And I won't ask you about yours.
Right. If don't ask me about mine, I'm not going to ask you about yours. At this point, we already know what the outcome is. It's a circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me so-and-so did this, is because we already know what the outcome going to be. We know what's going to happen.
Right.
At this point, let's just not even talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of the
let's not talk
conversation
about
we
it.
was having at the table about. I truly believe like the answers that we need to navigate through life exist within us. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in looking for the answers in external sources that we forget that. And so, like I told y'all, with my last relationship, girl, when I was ready, I won't ask nobody nothing. I was making phone calls like, all right, mom, help me pack this stuff up. Dad, I need you here on this day to move me out. Like, it wasn't, the conversation was different. And so I think that's something going forward, I learned to like look at other situations and take notice of people that may just need to sound off about stuff, and versus people that are actually looking for a solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or looking to move differently in situations. And that's okay. Like, everybody's journey is different. But as far as what works for me and not taking on other people's stuff, I don't know. I just learned to kind of meet people where they are. I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
Well, enough about that, y'all. Next, we are going to talk about generational curses.
Ooh.
Generational
Disclaimer.
curses. So, generational curses, most of us are traditionally taught that generational curses are things that sometimes can curse your family. You don't even know what's holding you back, but it's something that your ancestors went through that's blocking you guys from reaching the certain goal that you have to take into effect and say, hey, I suffered this, I went through this, so I have to break this in order to get through that barrier. So what I want to know is, have you guys ever thought to yourself that maybe some of the things that you're trying to do is not pulling through simply because there's a generational curse on your family?
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most
Yes.
definitely. So for me, I've just come to this realization probably within the last month or so, just by watching like other podcasts and stuff. And so I was like, it has to be. Like, there's no other way. Like, just looking at the history of the family that I do know, seeing certain patterns, seeing like the lack of good relationships, good marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it gotta be a curse.
I think it's
like
important.
Sally and Joe ain't work out, Billy and Bob ain't work out, Go ain't work out. So
I think it's important to know that we cousins.
Right.
So we
right.
can all
Yeah.
identify with this. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we are.
And then it's
That's
just
true.
also in the people who did get married, the husband either died young or
Stress.
right, or there's not a good marriage. Like I don't have one marriage that I can think of in my family where it's like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what I want.
Right.
So
Ooh.
That's
yeah.
deep. That's deep.
So yeah.
Let me something. Let me think. Let me think.
It
So
ain't
I'm
such
like,
and such, so
If I can't, I have to break this
that's
because
deep.
for me, you know, I'm a single mom. And so I would literally
Kudos to the
not.
single mothers.
Yeah, kudos. Shout out to all the
For
single
real.
mothers because that ain't no easy. Single fathers too.
Yeah,
Okay.
can't forget about the fathers.
So I can't imagine my daughter going through what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the next generation, because you know the generation is getting a little bit harder as far as like us coming together as a family unit. It's becoming more, you know, everybody is an individual.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine. So I was like, I have to do something. Like, I have to break this. I have to figure it out because Lily can't go through it.
Yeah.
Like, she can't.
So,
My biggest one with my family is I feel like they think very small. And it's best believe it's nothing wrong with thinking small because people only think about things that they can either afford or they can see visually. But by my Christian faith, I've always been taught to think outside of the box. Think for the things that I've never had, and think for the things that I think that I can succeed or get to. So that's kind of my thing, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that my family does not think big.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I can't even argue with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always pray without ceasing. I always pray without ceasing. I often, I'll be thinking in my head, things come to vision, and I often say, I will own that land. I will own that house. I will do things like that. And people that don't understand that talk will think that I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those are the type of people that you have to distance away from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's no harm. We can be friends, but I just gotta let you go for a little bit. So when I'm on my cattle with what they said? On the hill
40.
with the 40
acres in the mule.
40 acres in the mule. When I got my 40 acres in the mule, that's when I can invite you for Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Something you said, okay, so you feel as though your Christian faith is what made you think bigger? And for me, it's the opposite.
Kind of. Because maybe it's because I was raised in the church.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to church, I was always taught to think big, and anything can happen, miracles happen, all of this. That's something that pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that it's other things that push you as well, because who doesn't want to live the life that they want? Who doesn't want to live and not have to check their bank account for days and days and know that they're still good? But I think that it has just been my faith that has really pushed me.
No, I agree with him. I feel like that's the same for me.
To go that way.
Let me say, because I know what you're about to say.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you this. It's crazy because the same thing for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll say things like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this, have that. I'm going to retire by 54.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same people who teach you that faith be the same people that be like, but you ain't this and you ain't did that, and you say this, but you ain't finished that.
Yes,
And you did that.
yes.
They do that stuff to you.
Yes,
It be the
they
same people
do.
that teach you the faith
Uh-huh.
that then goes back and says the very thing I taught you, you can't achieve it. Like,
But those are those hypocrites. Those are those hypocrites.
And that's why I would disagree. In my situation, I don't feel like I learned that from the church. I feel like the foundation maybe was set there, that maybe the foundation was established in the church. But I feel like in my experience, the church folks were the people that traditionally they wanted me to be satisfied with having enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just something in me where I could never be satisfied with having just enough. Mm-hmm. So in that, like I said, the foundation was there as far as like spirituality in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say me like wanting or desiring more information and being open to more like spirituality opposed to religion. I think for me, that's what kind of set me on the train of thinking bigger, wanting more, and that kind of thing. Because for me, the church always taught me I should be satisfied with just enough.
So can I say this? So what I'm hearing, right, from all three of you, this is what I'm hearing, right? I think we have to learn how to separate the faith, the actual spiritual teachings of our religion or whatever, separate that from the people. Because the religion itself, like the actual faith-based word itself, it's supposed to be that way.
Right.
You're supposed to think big, God can do anything.
Right.
But then the people are the ones that inhibit you.
Mm-hmm.
You know
what I always
thinking?
I always wondered, like, you know how, and again, maybe this was just my experience, but I feel like as Christians, the teaching was always to live to die. Meaning, do everything right in this life so that when you die, you can get the streets paid with gold, you can get the mansion, you get. Why would God? My question was always, why would God want that for me in heaven but not on earth? Mm-hmm. Like, why do I have to go through life not having only, and wait until heaven to get this reward? Mm-hmm. My thing is, if God places value on things like that in heaven, then it's just as important here on earth. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't believe that we're put here to suffer and to live and lack and what's the word, mundane sense of life just to get to this idea of heaven and have it all. I'm not buying into that idea.
I get what you're saying.
I get
what you're saying. And that comes when people are just so stuck in religion.
Mm-hmm.
You have people out here that are so stuck in religion.
It's comfortable.
And it's comfortable. That's a perfect explanation. It's comfortable because, think about it, they have their traditional Bible study on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. They not only doing Bible study on Wednesdays, because best believe when you had Bible study on Wednesdays, you was just falling out at Bible study. Then when you walking out the church, you talking to Sister Sally about the next one that was falling out too. So it's kind of, and that's why a lot of people don't attend services and attend churches, because they are looking at the other person's input on them. When I say input on them, say for instance, if I go to church, say for instance, I'm at church and I'm walking in and I have a hat on. The person at the front, the usher, gonna tell me take the hat off. But what is the hat doing to anybody in the building? That's the reason why people don't go to church. It's just simple things like that.
Yeah, it's like a sense of control. Like we want to control the smallest variables of a person, and the Bible itself says, "Come as you are." So it's just, I mean, it's a lot. And I think as millennials, as Black people, I think, and I know this goes against the grain to say, but I think that's something that we have to unpack too, like religion. The impact that religion has had on our culture.
Right.
I think in some ways it's taken away a sense of responsibility that we have as individuals, because it's always, well, I'm just waiting on God. Nah, sis, God waiting on you. When you move, He gonna move. And that stuff I think is not talked about because we are so like, I was raised to fear God. When in all actuality, now I'm learning like God lives within me. He's a part of me. Like there's nothing to fear.
Why should you be afraid?
Right. But in that same sense of fear, we've learned, you don't question God. No, I got a couple questions. Let me
Right.
Actually, I got some questions.
And I feel like they appreciate my
So we really don't tap into the fullness of what God is, because we are so like, we are taught to fear Him, and you don't ask. But I'm learning, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody else, like when I really tapped into like the spirituality side of things, that's when I feel like I connected more to the idea of God and that, that, so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta make that.
That was definitely a conversation, and it's always good to add your inputs on your religious perspective and things like that. But enough about religion, y'all. We're gonna go to the future. When I talk about the future, I want to know what motivates you guys to really become the person that you really want to become. And when you answer that question, I also want you guys to include, what do you guys want to become? What do you want people to think of you as? If, say for instance, if a person came up to me and said, you know that girl Chantrice, or you know that girl Constance J, aka Miss Jackson, what can you say about her? What would you want that person to say?
That's a good question. Okay. Well, for me, I think the most important thing is, how do you impact somebody else's life? So for me, on my funeral day, I want people to say that I did something to impact their life. Like, I remember this moment, this conversation we had that changed my life. It changed the way I thought. And so for me, that's the most important thing. It's not about, oh yeah, she had the money, she had the car, she did that. It's like, that girl changed my life. And so even if I never become a millionaire, if I don't never become anything more than what I am today, I have to make sure that the way I carry myself, the way I interact with other people, I know that it makes a difference. I know that when I go to these little jobs that I have now, the little things that I do that I think don't make a difference, when I'm about to leave, they always tell me like, I'm so glad if you weren't here, I wouldn't have stayed as long as I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, so
you have an impact on them.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing to me. That's what I want to hear people say.
I agree. And just to let y'all know, this little side note, I don't want y'all to come into my funeral slobbing on me.
I want my party.
Yeah.
Celebrate my life.
You better cry.
I mean, cry, but don't
cry
put
while
on
you
a
dance.
show.
Yeah, don't be
cry while you taking shots of my favorite.
I don't even want my body to be viewed.
Right, just have a picture of me, a cute picture, you know what I'm saying?
So cremation.
I don't know about cremation, just in case I ain't dead all the way.
Fire.
I need to be able to be revived, just in case somebody made a mistake. Okay. But just you gotta show it. Okay.
Right. I totally get what you're saying. So, Chantrice, what's something that you want someone to say that you did or what type of impact do you want to have on a person?
To piggyback off of Constance, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't care if it's one person. If one person can say that I changed something about the way that they view the world, or, you know, just their mindset in general, that's super important to me. And I always say, like, when I do die, I don't want people to be sad, because I want people to see my life as, like, an example of how it can be done. Meaning, everything that I said I was going to do,
You did.
I did it. Or if I didn't do it, I could rationalize and place some logic behind why it might not have been the best thing for me.
Okay.
And I want a celebration of life. I don't want a funeral. I don't want a funeral.
Right.
And that's something that's
It's a celebration.
Y'all better break it up.
Serves.
Call the DJs. Get it lit. Get it popping.
Right. That's some real talk, and I like how you guys are explaining it as well, because at the end of the day, it's not, how can I say this? It's about how a person looked at you. But everybody has their own perspective of a certain person. So this person is going to say something totally different from what the other person is going to say. It could be 100 people rooting for you, and you got that one person that just cannot see no good in what you did. So it's everybody has a different perspective. So that's another thing. Another thing is, I'm feeling
Wait, I
want to
know your answer to that question. How do you want people to remember you? I know how I would remember you.
I want people to remember me as the life of the party.
And yeah, you are definitely that.
Okay.
I really want people to remember me as the life of the party, because any atmosphere that I step foot in, I want to be
That's so true.
remembered as he came and he was there.
And literally, Tay, and I'm not just saying this because we on your like, that's literally how you remember. You know, like, anytime we have a family event, I need you, Constance, and Tiff, then we lit. Like, we good.
We lit.
We good.
We in
like, I don't care
we could be at PD and Tina house, and it's like we got our own little section.
And I love that about our family. Like, I feel like our family is so fun. Like, we so free spirited.
Yeah.
We have such a good time together. And literally, Tay, like, that is how I see you.
I just want. Excuse me, y'all. I ain't got no COVID.
But
I just want people to remember me as I am. I never try to be more than I am, and I never try to be less than I am.
So you're living in your truth.
I'm living in my truth. And it may be things that people don't like about a certain person, but
that's for them to do.
Everyone falls short. Every day I get up, y'all, I pray that God woke me up.
You pray that God woke you up.
So sorry.
That's the word.
That is the word. Wake me up tomorrow, Lord.
Wait a minute.
Wake me up for the next 25 years.
Oh my God. Can we sit in this? You pray that God will.
I pray.
That's a word. Because he had to do it.
Mm-mm.
Did you mean to say you give gratitude?
I give gratitude to God for waking me up.
Forgive
I
me,
really
Lord.
do.
No, he ain't living right.
I really I'm
I
gonna
feel
tell
you.
y'all.
Is the hat cocked a little bit now? What is in the cup?
Yeah.
Y'all, we went to the Mexican restaurant with the white Hennessy.
Right.
You got white Hennessy in that. I had white Hennessy. Thought I was gifting my little ex. Hey, came from
What happened? Tell that experience.
What experience?
What happened?
It was a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It was a stop on a 10-year stop on my spiritual journey.
A
It's all
10-year
good. No love lost.
Was it a 10-year or a 10-year stop?
Sound like both.
Oh.
Okay.
I like that wordplay though.
Right. Was it a 10-year or a
It was
10-year?
good. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. I hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's a big thing too. Like, I think when you learn your lessons as you go, it allows God to expose you to greater blessings.
And then if you don't learn a lesson, you keep going through.
You
the same
keep going
stuff.
through it. I
Over
finally
and
said
over.
enough.
That's one thing I learned. Learn the lesson. So
You
don't
get
have
the
to go
same
through it.
person in different types of.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to relationships, I'm pretty happy.
You should be.
I'm
That's how you should
happy.
be well.
And I do. And I have someone that is treating me well. And Bobby!
This He got drunk,
Bobby!
intoxicated, on air.
Bobby!
The man's probably in the shower. He just got home.
Bobby!
He thanking God. What he say?
Right.
He telling God for
I'm
waiting for the
thanking God.
whatever he said. That was it right
You
there.
not. Bobby!
You said he's
Oh,
sleeping.
he's asleep. Y'all, but like I was saying, I'm really happy. My man, he supports me. He supports me. He is like, he's my best friend. And I love him at the end of the day. Now, when it comes to relationships, that's all I can say. At the end of the day, people have their own experiences with relationships and things like that. But one thing I will say is that I'm really happy in my relationship.
I'm happy for you.
I'm gonna let that be known.
I'm happy for you, Zach. And I think relationships are supposed to be like, I was guilty of thinking relationships had to be long term. Like when you meet somebody.
I ain't gonna lie, Treese. I want to say this. I thought your relationship was gonna be permanent.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the beauty of being able to let go, Tay.
Okay, yeah. True.
And I'm telling you, this is Chantrice in 2022?
Mm-hmm.
2018, 2019 Trees? I can't even say that because by the time I was out, I was.
Mm-hmm.
But the beauty in all of that is being able to accept it for what it was. I've had some dope ass experiences since then. Like I met some people that I know have helped me along my journey, and like as you elevate in your self-love and your spirituality, you attract like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, like, everything that I felt like I lost back then, and this is not in any way an attack on him, we made our mistakes together. Like, we were young when we started talking. We grew up together. So we didn't have it's no manual when you growing up with somebody.
Right.
But what was I saying? The journey that we had together, it was ours for that moment, and now we both spread our wings, and it's beautiful. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him. I wish him well.
Mm-hmm.
I hope like he's healthy, his family is healthy. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. Our journey is just, it was what it was in that moment, and now we've both been introduced to
Bad thing.
And I must say, I ain't even lie, like I feel like I still got to live, like to have my little 20s phase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was booed up at what, 18, 19?
Yeah.
College,
so you feel like you living your teens over again?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm good now.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like I had fun.
Yeah.
I had fun. Like but like even in those situations, like as you experience certain things, it gets old, and then you, like as you grow and you expand your thinking, then you desire something different. And I'm happy with where I'm at now.
Constance, do you have any input on that situation?
Okay. I'm looking for my man.
First, he's gonna find you.
Looking for my forever.
I used to hear somebody say he ain't gonna come knocking on your front door, girl.
I'm waiting for him to. You know where I live. You know where I'm at. Okay. No, I'm joking. Listen, I don't know.
I'm good. Like,
I'm in a weird place.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You in a weird spot.
I'm in a weird spot.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, like Chantrice is in the spot where she's content being single.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that spot. Now I'm getting to this point, it's like, okay, now I'm 32.
That's what I was just about to ask you, Chantrice. Back to Chantrice real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you have gotten too comfortable being single?
Who said I was single?
Oh.
No, I'm single.
That's right. That's right. Hold up. Heard that.
No,
Pause.
Do you think you have become too comfortable?
I had.
Being single?
Yes, I had gotten to the point. My mom even said that. I was
Uh-huh.
but I don't think that I was I was tied down for 10 years. We 2-3 years post that. Like, why can't I be? I think that's a good thing. But I'm learning too, like, good situations, you don't have to put a title on. Like, just let it evolve into what it is. But, like, in meeting new people, like, shit. I dug my own hole with this one. No, but I feel just, like, to call him a friend, I feel like would be disrespectful, but we're not together.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody we talk every single day, and I really feel like he is somebody, like,
do I know who this person is?
No, you do not.
No.
You did dig yourself in the hole, didn't
I
you?
did.
Anonymous.
So I don't know who this person is. Will I ever meet this person?
Maybe. And it is not like seriously. All jokes aside, and get serious. I feel like he is like my spiritual equal. Like our conversations are different. He holds me accountable in terms of like being able to put labels on stuff that it's just different. And he is near and dear to my heart without even having to put a label on it. I'm going out like a sucker.
Wow.
This is not 2020 trees. 2020 trees outside. No,
Really?
but it's like it's just.
Or is it 2022 trees clinked up?
Listen to me. Listen.
I'm done with you.
2020.
Mm.
It's just a different vibe.
Mhm.
And again, as you I got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing sneaky links no more. I'm not trees. I'm not out there. I'm like I just
Girl,
got
it's
to
street talk. Come talk about it.
I just got to a point where I was not willing to accept certain stuff. It was
Mhm.
fun while it lasted. I'll be the
Yeah.
first to say, I still tell every female, you need that period in your life where you are figuring out what you want, okay?
Mhm.
But in that, you also have to be mindful and self-aware enough to know when something is not working for you anymore. And once I was like, okay, we good, learn my lessons there,
Mhm.
you know, I was open to new things.
Constance, so
Yeah.
let's go back to you.
Okay.
On your experience. In your,
Constance
output
out
on
you. Constance outside.
Constance
I'm
out
not
We was at
outside.
the bar one night. The man talked to Constance all night.
No, ma'am. First
What's
of all,
that, man? Get
Y'all
the
just know
phone.
you hold your ground.
we
had
was
fun.
both drunk, okay?
Who you and the man? Cause
He was drunk.
I was good.
Listen, no. As soon as I got up, he was talking to you. I said, you know
See?
what? I said, you know what?
Constance let the man talk to him all
I
night.
said,
Y'all
I went to the
said-
bathroom for 1 minute.
Oh, he was. You know what I hate, and y'all know this about me. If we out in a good, Rayvon was there tonight.
Mhm.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to talk to you.
Right,
I'm
I
trying
wanna
to
hear
enjoy
the
the music.
Yeah.
And he was talking, and I can, for the life of me, I couldn't tell y'all what the hell he was talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
weak.
I was like, go talk to her.
Right.
Like,
But how do you guys let a person know
oh, okay.
that you don't want to talk to them?
I don't want to
Hold
talk
on.
to them.
Uh-huh.
You him that night.
Do
I
you
mean.
straight up ignore or do you kind of throw
I'll
hints?
show you.
They're Sean trees because I'm different. I don't like to let people down like that.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
So I'll
That's me.
entertain for a little bit, let you just kind of.
that man was talking my head off, and
Yeah.
he didn't get the hints.
Oh, hold on. You talking about that man?
Who man you talking about?
You talking about that man?
Which one you talking about?
First of all, he don't like women.
Do we be pulling up or not? What man are you talking about? We got
Okay.
multiple children.
Yeah, it was a little.
Wait, which one you talking about?
You talking about the first one of the night?
The one that stuck around. And I
Yeah.
feel sorry for you.
And you feel something? Oh yeah, that.
I
man.
turned my listen.
She did. She turned her back on him and everything. He was trying. He was
Really?
like.
See what
listen.
had happened
I said,
was the
oh,
bartender
Lord.
tried to help him out. She was like, you been talking for a while.
Buy him a
Buy him a
drink.
drink, and he said something smart.
He said, "Why need to buy him a drink for? Why
Okay,
you don't buy me
bet.
a drink?" Oh,
But not the one walking up behind us bought us a drink. You're dismissed.
Yeah.
And it's not even about that, but you like.
Like you just didn't handle your duty at the time.
No, it's not about it. I don't know what it's about for me. I was irritated. I was
Yeah.
trying to listen to the music. They was playing 2000s hip hop. Like I was in my
So
zone.
that's
He
your
was
genre.
fucking talking.
yeah. She
I
was.
was
She was over it.
I
She
was
just.
like, okay.
She just said, and she just completely
Oh, so
ignored
you
him.
had a
Yeah, she did a little back
Dismiss
turn. I said,
yourself.
"Dang."
Mhm.
Then I felt sorry for
he
him.
still didn't
And
catch
he
on.
said in her face the whole night. I felt
He
sorry
did.
for him.
But you know what?
That's her
I took it
dream.
as an
She got-
opportunity. I was like, maybe I'll get something out of this.
What did you get out of it, Constance?
Nothing. But
Not even nothing?
no, listen. But I did. He said he was an attorney. He do taxes and stuff. I don't know about taxes, whatever.
He talked too much to be an attorney. He tell everything.
So I was
That's
like,
what
you know,
they do.
maybe
He talked too much.
You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, nah, let me just not even.
Mhm,
Let me not
mhm,
even.
mhm.
Leave that word in.
You gotta get the
Mhm.
shoulder. You gotta loosen your shoulder up sometimes.
Yeah.
Make that switch.
Because at the end of the day, that's networking too.
That was
It
not
is.
networking.
Because
I think so.
it kind of is networking.
Have you talked to
because-
him since?
I could text him today.
But have you talked to him since?
No, because I choose not to.
So I dare you to text him right now on
Yes.
the show.
Oh, y'all playing?
Send him a
Yeah?
text message.
Oh, yeah.
Send
Network.
him
Hold
a
on.
text
That was-
message
okay,
right
networking.
now. That's
Hold on.
networking.
I decided I'm gonna go in a different direction. I don't want that around.
No, but it's big. You gotta separate business and pleasure. That was networking. Holla at him. Let's see.
Holler at him. Send him a text message real
You
quick.
you can have the opportunity to
Stutter,
network. I'm just
stutter,
not gonna take the opportunity
stutter,
today. Amen.
I can say a
Do you guys hear
name, 'cause
crickets?
when you were playing.
Next question.
Crickets.
And that man probably don't even remember us. That's how gone. Like I
You
don't
sent
like
me a
talking
picture. That's how you
at the bar that night.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to men that's like drunk. That please get away, sir.
Because you probably don't remember what you was telling me that night the next
Please
morning.
get away, sir.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I don't mind it. I don't
We
mind
had
it.
fun that night.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
mhm.
As long as you don't touch me enough, we good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. As long as we're having a good time.
Cause I come out, you know.
But did you enjoy the conversation with him?
I didn't know we was talking about half the time.
So you denied yourself.
Mhm.
I mean, what else I'm gonna do?
You denied yourself of the full experience of enjoying the music to this bozo. I'm sorry, that was.
I didn't know. I take.
You were annoyed.
I wasn't annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. After a while, like after about 30 minutes, I was like, all right.
You actually, this is a real question.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually enjoyed the conversation at the end of the day?
Tell the truth, Shannon.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I enjoyed it because I don't remember what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I remember is he
drunk.
was a lawyer and he did taxes and he was trying to tell me how I cannot pay no taxes and it be legal.
And you was
And
interested.
that's when
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me?
Tell me more. Tell me more.
You mean to tell me? What he is saying is.
Right.
Oh
So
my
what
God.
you want me to do?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and shut your mother on phone because I'm going to hit you up tomorrow. Because 2019 was a hard year for me.
Put in parentheses, never met Aces.
Right.
The one from Aces.
My ear turned
Oh
on
my
when you
God.
said that. But other than that, I don't remember the conversation.
I was so irritated.
Yeah.
He didn't irritate me. You know, I don't know. I feel like this too. When you're out and about and you at a bar and guys see a man walk up to you, it makes you look more like
They flopped like a mug after
Yup.
that.
So I was like, go ahead and stop. You know,
We worked that bar after that though.
Okay. After that, it got real interesting, right? It got real interesting.
It did, girl.
See?
I felt like the player from the Himalayas.
Okay. It brought the people over.
We did.
So that's
Mhm.
sometimes you just go with the flow. You never know. It might open a door. Maybe you got a friend that come over and the friend see you and it's like, oh, the friend. No, but the friend. You know? So you never know. I just take it as an opportunity. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. Probably nothing, but let's just see.
Yeah.
But do we have to take every situation as that? Like, is there any situations that we can go into saying, this is my vibe for the night? I ain't
And
trying
just
to
having fun.
I wasn't trying to hear this. I was not trying to hear
Yeah.
that night.
Because I ain't gonna lie, at the end of the day, I feel like, say for instance, I feel like I would totally say, hey, I'm not here for no linking up tonight. I'm just here to have a good time. You're dismissed.
But I ain't linking. I ain't linking with nobody.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't link.
What y'all doing after this?
But
Oh,
yeah, what you doing? I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Most of
Right.
the time they walk away. Once you said it, if they intentions are for that.
Right.
But I don't know. For me, it's like I came out to socialize. He's talking to me. Ain't nobody else talking. Let's just see what happens.
Mhm.
Let's see where the conversation goes.
Y'all ain't getting no drink out of it or nothing.
I got a drink
No.
out of it, one from him.
Yeah, one
You
from
got-
him.
How do you think he feel? How did he react when the dude behind y'all bought y'all the drink?
I think he had left at that time. He already left.
No, his ass was still there.
Oh, he was still
He
there.
was still there. He stayed with you until we went to the other spot.
He was gone.
Yeah, he was on.
He was gone.
No.
Cause he left before it really started like picking up. Like it started picking up after he left.
We done spent 30 minutes on his name. I can't even tell you his name. What's
Don't
his
know.
name?
I don't know.
I don't know it at all.
I don't know.
Well, don't disclose it on here.
I couldn't tell you my life depended on it because I don't think I asked.
I don't think I asked either. He might have told us. He probably told us.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys really think he was an attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He was too drunk to be lying like that.
Mm-hmm.
You too drunk to be lying.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the truth, Shaggy.
Okay. So y'all, we're gonna do a little quick game segment real quick. We are going to do smash or pass.
Oh Lord.
Y'all ain't gonna like this.
Smash or pass.
All my church people, please forgive me.
We're gonna start off with three sets first.
Reset.
The first set, if it's a smash, you're gonna put up your thumbs. If it's a pass, you're gonna put a down thumb. Thumbs down.
See, this could mess up money in the future. See, the people be pulling up shit from the past.
Look.
They mess up. Back
Trey
then-
Songz, smash or pass.
What's the thing now?
Smash.
Smash
Smash your pass.
or
No,
pass?
what's the? Can I just say it?
For smash, it would be up.
Pass.
Trey Songz pass.
Mm.
Idris Elba.
Pass.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Moneybag.
I don't know who that is.
Moneybag.
Let me explain.
Let me explain.
Let me explain. I love to see an evolved man.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I look at how he first came into the game and where he is now, I'm attracted to his how he has evolved as a man from what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Safe.
Safe.
Say.
Real safe.
You gotta learn how to swim.
I don't know who that is.
All right, so
Moneybag, yo.
I don't know who that is. I know the name, but I don't know what he looked like.
Pistol by the bed.
Huh?
Pistol by the bed.
I don't know what he looked like. I don't know who that is.
Waukesha.
Well, pass.
See, but we basing this
No,
off
that's
this.
the name of
See, I
the
can't play.
song.
I know.
I
That's a
can't
pass.
play these games.
That's a
Cause
pass.
I go too deep. I be focused. I can't. Next.
Smash or pass. Jamie Foxx.
Pass. He too old.
Pass. Ain't he short?
No, he ain't that short, is he?
He ain't no 6 nothing.
He just too old for me.
Too old.
Yeah.
What that mean?
He too old. I don't want to be with him.
He like 46.
He about old enough to be my daddy, and I don't got time for that. no, ma'am.
All right, smash or pass. I know this is a crazy one, y'all, but Terrence from 106 and Park.
Pass.
Yeah, he might be alright. He a little skinny, you know. I don't like skinny men, but he might be alright.
Okay, you said pass. So what is your type?
I hate
Let's
it.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. What is your type?
What's your type? I already know what the type is.
Tell me about me, Constance. If you my type,
I already know.
tell me.
You
Listen.
gotta be from New York. You
No.
gotta
I've
Wait.
heard that before.
Wait.
You know, you gotta be from New
Wait,
York.
we done got past that.
Oh, okay, we
Okay.
did.
I learned my lesson, and that was part of my spiritual. I learned my lesson in that. No.
Okay.
So you don't like New York niggas anymore?
I have
Okay.
evolved past that.
Okay.
Alright, what's your type? I don't know no more.
I like somebody that is self-aware. We talking about physical characteristics.
Everything.
Okay.
Physical characteristics.
I like somebody
yeah.
that is self-aware. I like
Mhm.
somebody that is has the ability to
Mhm.
start over.
Excuse me.
I am attracted to a man that is self-aware. Y'all not gonna take my attributes seriously. I'm not gonna.
Yes,
We
we
are
are.
listening.
We are taking it serious.
Somebody who is self-aware. Somebody who is spiritually inclined. Someone who is a man of his word.
Yes.
Someone that has power.
That's deep.
Power, yes. Come on, speak on it.
Somebody that respects women.
Yes.
Mhm.
Somebody that has integrity. If he has children, if he has a child, limit one.
Mhm.
Somebody that is a good father, and by good father, I don't mean like material things, but somebody that is invested in like his
The
growth
children's
as
life.
Yes.
Yep, and
That
his
is nothing better.
maturation.
Yes, Lord.
Mhm.
I'm saying his maturation, but like if it's a female, her, you know, of course somebody that's caring, somebody that has the ability to express themselves. Like I can't stand men that are so like, or they want to be so tough that they can't even express how they feel.
Mhm.
Next, as far as physical attributes, I like a tall man. I like a husky man.
Yes, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited.
Tall and big.
Yes, Lord.
Mm.
I said tall and big.
Yes, Lord.
So
Tall
if
and
you're
big. You gotta
watching
be
right
tall.
now and you're tall and big,
Negative. Don't say these people are fair like that.
oh my God.
Yeah. What other attributes that I like? Tall and big is like baseline.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you want a security guard?
Yes. Football player, security guard.
I'm
Like a
triggered.
linebacker.
I'm triggered.
I'm sorry.
I did that with a security guard
I'm
and some
sorry.
athletes.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't.
That look. That look.
Yeah.
That look. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Constance, what's your type?
It's the same. It's
Mhm.
everything she said.
Mhm.
Everything.
And somebody with facial hair. If you ain't got no facial hair, you got naked face. I can't. I love a beard.
Facial hair.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
So that's what
name.
turned me on by Bobby.
it's
It's everything about you,
Bob.
though. It's
Bob.
everything about Bobby. I want to know
No, you
who this.
cannot.
I want to know who this friend is. One day.
How much you paying?
Oh, it's a cost.
You want the exclusive?
I want the exclusive Hollywood edition. No,
one day.
but one
I'm
day.
sure of it.
I'm
One
sure.
day.
I just hope that he treats you right. That's all.
You think I would expect anything less than?
Right.
Nah, he don't. Like he is, and I say this all the time. Like even if it doesn't like turn into anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will, like as a friend, like I f with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is such a dope person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it should be. If you don't feel that way about somebody, like I just like you as a person.
Mhm.
Like if nothing else, you just like
Right.
that's when you.
And
know.
based on that alone, I want the world for you. You know what I mean? Like to
Mhm.
me, that's like the most. That's so dope. Like he's such a dope person.
Mhm.
I've learned so much from him, and I'm learning so much from him.
Right.
And so that alone
And that's
is
how
enough
it
for me.
should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. And I think you should. That's one thing for me. I need to feel like I can learn from you because a lot of the relationships I've been in, it's like
That's what I be telling people.
right. I be feeling like if you trying to be the man of this situation, I need to feel like you are the leader and I can learn from you and not, so what we doing? No, you tell me what we doing.
If you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do.
Yes, you tell me what we doing. Let me learn from you. Let me sit at your feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me sit
But
at your
I think
I'm
that
sitting right
also
here in my
comes
rightful position.
right.
Okay.
But I think that also comes from our the women in our family are very strong.
Yes.
Yes.
And so
They
we
try to be
coming
real
up.
independent.
Yes.
Coming up, that's been our that's what we've tried to we have mimicked in a
That's
sense.
what we always know. And I think that's part of the generational curse. Breaking that, I have to be strong and I have to be independent. Don't depend on no man for nothing. No.
Right.
If you pick right, you can depend on him for everything.
Everything.
You don't gotta worry about nothing.
Or it can be a team effort.
Okay, for me, yes. But at the same time, I think the type of man I want, he's not gonna want me to be like.
You want him to take over.
I want you to take over and let me just support you. Let me be there when you need me. If you need me to be this, and I do that. But it's not like I need you to do this or everything's gonna fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Like he got it, and I'm here for support.
But I want you to know that I want you to take that push and do it.
You're right. Because for me, that's the only way I can respect a man. Like he got it all. Not necessarily like all the time. Like I know these are my moments of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can always take over because I've worked before. I've been a single mother, so you know I can do it.
Right.
But it's not like if I don't do this, the whole family's gonna fall apart.
See, I'm the opposite. I want us to be, and I think for me,
You want to be the type where if anything happened, you can get up and leave and don't think twice about it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. Tay, you got it.
But no. Not only that,
Mm-hmm.
but I want, like, I don't want to be in a situation where he feels like he can't enjoy his life either because he always focuses on providing. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I want
true.
it to be a team effort where, I mean, you might make more than me, fine. But you also know I'm bringing something, I hate that word, to the table. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a collaborative effort where you don't feel like the weight of the world is on you, because I don't feel like you get the best version of a man in that situation. I feel like you get a man that's always focused on providing. Oh my God, if I don't do this, if I don't have this in order, the house is going to, like, yeah. So I want it, like, let's be teammates.
50-50.
But let me say that.
That's true.
For me, I can't do 50-50. I can, but as long as you're working towards something else. Like, for me, I don't know how to explain it. So, let me say something. This is going to make some people mad. Oh my God, here we go. All right. So I've been watching Kevin Samuels a lot lately, right? And I used to hate him. Like, when I watch, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, I used to yell at the camera. Lily would be like, Mom, why you just keep watching him?
Well, Lily said, what does this cup mean?
What does this cup mean?
Why the smiley face?
But lately, I've been watching him, and I've been
listen
like,
with
you know
different
what?
ears.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? He might be right. And it bothered me at first, like, no, you can't turn to the other side. But a man and a woman is different. Like, y'all, they're made to do certain things. They have the mentality of provider. So if they're not providing, they don't feel like a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So for me, it's like, I want you to feel like you're a man, and I want to feel like a woman.
Because I don't want to take your pride away from you.
Right, and not only that, but me, like, for me being a single mother, it's hard for me to be nurturing all the time because I'm taking on the role of a man and a woman.
Correct.
So there's a lot of times I'm frustrated and I don't want to be bothered and I can't really be as nurturing and soft as I want to because I'm out here grinding just like a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men want that feminine aspect, but I can't give you that because I'm being a man and a woman.
Right.
So I want the man to be the man and let me be the woman, so that we can balance each other out, if that makes sense. But at the same time, if you need help, I can help.
I can step
It's not a problem.
I can step
Right, because I've done it, and I know how to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I totally get it.
So wait, when we think about a man providing, we talking about, what is your definition of a man providing?
Just taking care of everything. Not when I say everything, I don't.
Because you have, can I step in? You have these relationships where the man literally does everything.
Right.
The woman does nothing. And now, you know, with the LGBTQ community and everything, they even have their perspective of who's going to be the man role, who's going to take the feminine role.
Right.
I feel like in some relationships, you have that man that will literally take care of everything, balance the checkbook. Might want to grocery shop, you know, and just have you at home taking care of the materialistic things. But that also comes to how people were raised, because what they say, you can take sand to the beach. You can't.
You can't make a whole housewife, or don't take sand to the beach.
Don't take sand to the beach, or you can't make a whole housewife.
Or you
Correct.
can't take the hood up. Or
You can't take that's
the y'all.
you
Put it in. Real talk.
can't.
Yeah, I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Right. Can't take the ghetto off the girl.
You can't take
I
the ghetto
feel
out
like
the girl
I
because.
have-
Can I say this?
Yes, it's your
What
body.
I was saying was, at the end of the day, if that person was raised to be independent, you can't take that independence from them.
The female or the male?
The female.
I disagree with that too.
Yeah, I feel like they can adapt.
Because I've been in situations where I feel like I've had to be the alpha female.
Mhm.
Like, not even necessarily in terms of, like, just in general. Like you were saying, what are we doing? Okay, let me make, like, I am so over that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized for me, of course, we want somebody, we can get a bag together. We can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I am more so, like, can you provide a safe space for me to flourish in my feminine energy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just bringing money to, that's not enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
So so on the spectrum, if we had
Make me feel
somebody,
wanted.
if we had somebody that was running a Fortune 5, you had everything financially, but you still couldn't, like, you couldn't sit down and have a conversation with me, and we can talk about how we're feeling and the things that our fears, our insecurities. That's not enough for me.
Yeah,
I need to be in a situation, and so what I'm finding is, and again, this goes back to having conversations with people that are evolved, just mature.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times men feel as though as women, the only sense of protection or provision that we need from it is financial.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that throughout, like, the generations. Men that go to work sun up, sundown, they coming home, food on the table. Okay, honey, you fed me for the day, I'm gonna go take a shower in bed, do it all over again. That's not what I want from
no.
like,
That's not what I want.
I need like that connection.
Yeah.
I need to know that, like, if I'm feeling a way, I can come to you as my partner, as my friend. Like, like, the baseline of our relationship has to be a friendship.
Yeah.
Like, forget all the other stuff. Like I said, we can figure out how to get a bag together. I need you to be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I mean, like, provide me
I want to
with,
feel safe telling
Right.
you everything.
that's where I, like, and I'm not negating the fact that finances are important, but I feel like finances are something that can be, like,
It's a pushing step.
well, we can work. That's something that's, like, we can change.
Mm-hmm.
But how you process emotions and how you acknowledge my emotions as a female, that's something that I think it more so takes more work on their part. It's something they have to be interested to learn, or they have to realize that the way that they respond to females is an issue before it's changed. I don't think that's something that you can handhold a man through. You know what I mean? That's more of like an innate sense of
Something
just
they have to.
being.
Yeah.
Finances, we can figure that out. Hell, I don't have everything figured out financially. I'm still learning.
So it's not just about finances. Though. When I say it's not just about finances, like what you said, I agree with you 100%. But at the same time, I feel like the way women were made. So say, like, if you and him both are going 50-50 on everything, you basically, it's okay.
You mean 50-50 on, like, bills and stuff?
Yeah, like bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay right now, but it's just like, I don't feel like you can work in the way a family's supposed to be made. You can't be at 100% because you were not created to carry the burden of the family. The man is created to do that, so he can do it and still function properly. We can do it, but we can't function properly in other areas. Like, our emotional state is not going to be at 100%.
It's going to be
because we were
some
made
errors.
differently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, like, a man can do that. He can still handle himself. A woman, I don't feel like we can do it in hand. Like, I know I can't. Like, if I go out and work and I got to pay half of this rent, you can't come home and tell me that you got the last say on everything. No, we 50-50.
But how do you know that if you never had it? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
I feel like a man that's bringing that sense of security, he's not gonna carry you like that. It's not gonna be I got the last say. Yes, a man can be. You can be submissive to a man without him ruling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you being submissive is an act of respect under the right conditions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I like the idea of submission because it doesn't mean, to me, submission in the right circumstance doesn't mean you telling me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean,
So you telling me if y'all pay 50-50 on everything, all the bills, and then every time you have a suggestion, he like, nope, this is what we doing.
but that's
This what we
That's-
doing.
but that's a
Get
separate
annoying.
issue. You know what I mean? I feel like you can have a situation where y'all are building together. So, but however the breakdown of the bills is, cool. But that still doesn't give him the red light to then. I just don't think all men see things that way. I think it's about finding a man that is willing to, like, they see your feedback as, they don't see it as an attack on their manhood or as you emasculating them. They see it as, this is a partnership. I care enough about this girl, and I know she got my best interest at heart, so I want to hear what she got to say when it comes to the stuff, how I'm moving. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily see that as being in the same boat as, oh, well, we doing 50-50, so now you can't tell me. I don't see it as the same thing. And for me, I think when I think about submission, it's more so of like kind of letting him be the mastermind behind the greater good of the household. Yeah, my opinion still matters, and of course take that in consideration. We can talk about it, but at the end of the day, I know that you want to protect and provide to the point where any decisions that you make, like the ultimate decisions or how you see the vision that we have for our household, how you then present that as the next goal or the next thing that we should be doing moving forward, is because you want to protect and provide. So I trust you with that.
But so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying, but what makes him the ultimate say so if everything I do is 50-50?
When you feel ultimate
Because
say so,
if it's 50-50, both of you guys should have the final say.
Right.
And then you compromise on that final output.
But I think by a man protecting, he's always thinking like, what is the next move as a family that may set us up or set us up closer to this goal? Not to say as a female you don't bring those same ideas and logics to the table, but I just feel like men process. We are more emotional. Men are more, here are the facts. This is how we need to move in order to reach this goal. So me as a woman, I feel like in our conversations, you'll know what our goals and our standards as a family are, what we're moving towards. So then my job as a female is to say, okay, we had these conversations. All right, but have you thought about it in this way? Cool. It's not like he's ultimately making the decisions, but allowing him the space to bring these things to the table based on what we talked about. And then like saying, damn, I might not fully agree with this, but as the men find, I think men get strength when you allow them the opportunity to evolve and grow in their mess ups. Like, I might not fully agree with this, but it's not gonna cost me my life. So, boo, this is what you want us to do as a family, let's go for it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then once those decisions are made, and maybe if it's not the best thing, then we come back to the drawing board. Okay, well, what was your rationale behind this thought? All right, but have you thought about it in this way? So then in future decisions, as a man, he is gaining his strength by you allowing him as a woman to protect and provide by making certain decisions. Like, that's what I
get you. Like, I totally get you. But at the same time, I just feel like eventually, right? Maybe when we first started out, we can go 50-50. Maybe I make more than you. Just
why
no
is
problem.
it about that though?
It has to be.
It definitely shouldn't be about the money.
Not all of it.
It shouldn't be about the money. Yeah, we do.
Like, we get so caught up in the idea, like, if you can't take care of me financially, if you can't,
I
don't want to listen to
No, that's not what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
I'm saying, but that is an important part.
But do
divorce
you
happens
think-
because of money.
Because we don't have
Okay.
honest communication. And I think divorces happen because of money, because there's so much stuff that we sweep under and we make it about money when it's really about, you don't respect me as a man. You don't. I think that is what we are missing as a generation in terms of like us thriving in relationships. Because like you said, we all want to be independent. I don't need the man. The man saying he don't need the women. When if we could just find a way to come together, like we got the same ideas about. We all want to be happy. We all want to feel free. So how do we make that work in a committed situation? That's what For me, it's not about.
Let me ask this question.
Finances.
Do you guys believe that? And I get your opinion, so I kind of get what your answer would be on this question. So you guys don't believe that the breadwinner should make the main choice?
I think they have the ultimate choice.
Wow.
That's logical. Men think logically. You said that, right? So logically, if he's the one that provided this house, he brought the food to the table, he's doing all this, he gets the last say. So just like when you go to a job, you can't go above the person that bought the building and bought the furniture. He got the ultimate decision. That's how life works in this world. In the perfect world, no. But in this world, that's how it goes.
But again, going back to building relationships, you can position yourself that you might not, they may have the ultimate say so, but you may be able to maneuver about in a way that you can have conversations with that person to sway the way in which they see the daily operations.
But they had the ultimate say so. So like you say, even if they go, no, I'm going to do it this way. It's like, okay.
I don't believe that to be so in a relationship, because if we a partner, like if we a team, I don't think it's about who. Like, it's all for the greater good of the family that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm loving this, y'all, because it's two different sides.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How you think about it, how you think about it. And then I'm sure the audience, they got their perspective at it too. So it's all different sides, and that's why I love to hear the conversation. So you guys don't think that the breadwinner should have the say so?
No,
You think the breadwinner should have the say so? Shantrice believes that
it's a
they don't. Me? I ain't gonna lie. I kind of think the breadwinner should.
Really?
I do.
That's how men think, though. You think
Not
like a
all
woman.
men think that way.
I think all men
I
think
promise
that.
you.
The manly
Best
men,
believe
like,
they do.
Men,
And I'm gonna tell you
I'm
why
telling
they
you
do.
from experience. Not all men
Because
think
men hate, and I'm a man. Men hate to lose their pride.
But the finances, men are so multidimensional, and I think we, as a culture, as women, we've gotten so caught up in seeing them for the bag, for money, what they can bring. We have neglected those other areas of a man. Like, if you can get a man's mind, and I don't mean that to be manipulative, but if you can tap into like those other areas of his mind, it's almost like we submitting to one another.
I agree, but
so I'm not like
I agree. But if the finances ain't right, he don't care nothing about all the other stuff.
You're right.
If y'all struggling, he don't care nothing about. You could be the sweetest, most baby. What's wrong? He don't want to talk to you nothing.
But I do believe that
I gotta
sets
figure out a
him
way
up.
to get that money by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all he think about.
But Michael had to figure that out on his own.
Right.
He doesn't. But we gotta come with a plan.
But as his pride, he's not gonna add you in it.
He's not gonna say, well, you go out and get the money, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna do
Y'all
this.
right about that.
That's how.
You know.
Y'all right about that.
You know. So.
That's true.
I mean, money is not important, but if that is not fixed first, you can't get to the level. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like women shouldn't be doing the 50-50, because if the money thing ain't straight, nothing else can align itself.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, so you're not in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, who cares about love and emotions? Then we get to this money. Like,
get this back.
How we gonna pay this rent? Like,
I feel you on that.
So I don't know, but I get what you're saying. Like, I agree with you 100%. But money is important, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You don't have to be 100,000 there or whatever. You don't gotta. But are we good? We got the rent paid, bills paid.
Cruising.
Yeah.
We stay.
All right.
And then just living day to day can mess it up too.
What you mean?
Living check to check. You can be comfortable, but just not having it, but still comfortable.
Yeah.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You just comfortable being
where you're at.
Yeah.
In the predicament that you're in.
Mm-hmm. Or some people are comfortable on welfare. Like, as long as you got that welfare check coming in, we good. We good, baby.
That's right.
You right.
But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be like that. I feel like it should just be, at the end of the day, I feel like it could be a 50-50 thing. But the breadwinner, if he bringing in the bread and he bringing in the money.
Now I can sit back and I can just be my feminine self. You know, all them celebrities and stuff, they're so feminine and they're so soft and just,
because they don't have worry.
Yes, they don't have this stress and this pressure on them. I gotta get paid the rent this month. I can't even take care of my kids the way I want to. I can't nurture them because I have to go out and work just like my husband. Like, no, you get to sit back and just be a woman.
I don't want to be a stay-at-home woman.
You don't gotta be a stay-at-home. You can still have your entrepreneurship, but it's not like
if you decide,
right? It's not if I decide I don't want to do this no more.
Tomorrow,
what we gonna do? Right. That's how I feel like that's how it's supposed to be.
So how do we have the dynamic where I hear that side of things, but then is that suggesting that if things fall apart, meaning for whatever reason we take a hit financially, our whole life is gonna fall to pieces? Like, we don't have the ability to navigate through financial difficulties without it costing us our relationship or our sanity as individuals?
That's a good question. So what else? Repeat that question.
Repeat that.
When we're talking about like celebrities, or like, let's just talk about financial stability in general. How do we navigate that in a sense where if we lose it all tomorrow, we still have our sanity as individuals and we still can maneuver about we still can deal with each other on the dealings of us being friends. Like, you know how people say, if I lost it all tomorrow, you would still be my person. If I lost it all, Like, if we are always put in situations where we come together having it all figured out, how do we build that muscle?
So I think that's where what you said earlier come in. So like, of course, like when you're dating somebody, you're not really worried about their finances because y'all not married. Y'all bring your lives together. So in the dating stage, the things like the friendship, the connection, all that, that's your foundation. But I think in a marriage, finances is when we gotta talk about finances. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
because
when things fall apart,
way.
right, you still got that foundation of that friendship and love and connection that keep you together.
So using the statistics that we talk about when marriages fall apart because of finances, is that then suggesting that those marriages they didn't have the foundation of friendship first?
It wasn't a good foundation. It was just based on.
So pretty much it was what you wanted at the moment.
Or it was just based on finances from the beginning, from the jump. Like, oh, he can provide, and you just gonna have my kids, and okay, like, and then once everything fall apart, it's
solid.
Like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have different type of relationships. Like you have transactional relationships where you give me this, I'm gonna give you that. You have business relationships, and you have like true loving relationships.
But going back to breaking generational curses, I think that's where a lot of the relationships that we have had as a example, that's kind of where they've fallen. Like, I know in my own family, the men have always been providers. Like, I can't think of a time, even today, if I need something, like I can't call my daddy or my grandpa and say, look, this is what I need, and it's done. But in that same token, the focus is always on, like, let's say I called them on a Monday night, let's go out to dinner. Oh, I gotta get for work tomorrow at whatever time. So like the focus has always been, for as long as I'm on money, like, and they are set, like, in good places financially, but because like that has been how they've been conditioned as far as their, I guess maybe generation, their worth as a man, that's always the focus. So you miss out on those opportunities to build memories because in the back of their mind is always gotta provide.
I get that too.
Gotta provide.
Yeah, I do get that.
I can't.
Yeah.
I
because at a certain time you just have to live.
But how?
Because we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
We know that.
So all that working, eventually you need to take time for yourself. And you need to have a good time with the money that you made from that working.
Do you agree that maybe we have that understanding because we've seen what we've seen?
That could be as well. But I feel like, just like you say, they're immune to it. Because it's something that they went through for so long. They were taught to be independent. They were taught to work, boy, how you gonna get some if you don't work? You know, so, and then you talking about your dad and your grandfather. Think about it. Your dad had 3 girls. So what are fathers always told about girls?
Be expensive.
You're not only expensive, but a woman is taught to love a man by the way the man loves the daughter. That's real. You get what I'm saying? So maybe the man is always taught to be that masculine man and that person that's always taught to provide. When you were talking about your dad, it's only 3 girls. Y'all have no boys. So if it was not for your dad providing for you guys, I mean, your mom could do what she could do, but at the end of the day, your dad was that extra stepping stone. So maybe he's immune to the support that he's been providing so long. And he was given that by his father. So like I said, it could be traditional.
It is. But I think that's what's exposed me to, am I like great? Like, I'm so appreciative for both my dad and my grandfather. But in the same sense, now I'm learning. And it's not that, it hasn't been situations we try to get them outside of their comfort zone, but they are so enmeshed in that mindset that it's like, all right.
Right.
Got it.
Sad but that's the way they're gonna die that way.
Right. And so that's why it's so important for me. Let me try to create a different setup where you don't feel, and I hate to say it that way because I don't want to make it seem like that's just, and it's like no holds barred. Like they don't have no flexibility in terms of they don't want the woman to be the breadwinner kind of thing. So for me, it's important that I go into a situation with somebody that's more open minded in terms of we're gonna get this bag. We also gonna expose our kids to different countries. We're gonna have movie nights. We're gonna have conversations with them about whatever they want to like.
But
that
they don't have the time
equally,
for that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for me that I co-create with somebody that is capable of seeing the importance of those things in terms of raising children.
But you know what I'm hearing from the collective group, basically, it sounds like your past experiences create what you desire in the future. So like you have experienced your father working, never having time to really do anything outside of just provide physically and financially for us. So that's not really what you're looking for. That's the point. Whereas for me, it was kind of the opposite. So yeah, I'm looking for, because I saw how that broke apart my family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for the opposite. Like that is not gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? But it worked. I think for different people, different situations work. So I can see.
But even in that, I'm learning too. I mean, to your point, I have to be more open to accepting certain things from men. Like I'm very standoffish when it comes to a man wanting to do anything for me financially, because in my mind that then generates a bill. Meaning, at some point you can hold that against me, and in whatever way you do. You know what I mean? So that's
this girl
also
right here, y'all, is so independent. I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff.
Not.
She called me.
No, that's not
She called me one day.
Listen,
and she said, "Tay, I was in Target with somebody, and it turned me off because he kept on asking me, what can I buy you?"
But because that was a different situation.
No, that's if you just met him, that's kind of.
Thank you.
You think so?
No.
Okay.
It was because for me, you were trying to buy my love.
Yeah.
Get to know me. That was the second date we had been. Second day we met.
Yeah,
You're trying to buy my love.
Yeah.
See me, like I want you to get to know me for.
You want him to like you because he knows you and he knows that you're like this amazing person. And
And then if we at Target, you want, that's a difference. But you don't know enough about me to want to go in your, in my opinion. Maybe
to
that's
go in
something.
your pocket.
Yes, no, sir, you gotta go.
Yeah, I agree with that. I had that happen to me one
Cut
time.
him off next day.
I was living in DC, and it was for some reason African men love me. I tell the story all the time.
Mhm.
I don't know
Girl,
what it is about African
you want
men.
money? You say you want money? They throw that shit at the wedding.
Girl,
I got a plug for you. My cousin, she pull them.
Okay.
I'm on the side.
Listen, because I'm about to just accept it at this point. But listen, everywhere I used to go, they'd be like, "I love you. I love." They were literally, the man was giving me money. And we went one day. He said, "I love you so much."
He might be an African prince.
He gave me not in the apartment he was living in. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
He trying to
That's
throw
who
you
was
off.
coming to America or something. But either way, I wasn't with it. Okay, I was like, I'm not feeling this. You doing too much. Gave me $100. I said, "Sir, I don't want the money." I gave it back to him, but he just kept doing. I don't want the money.
Right.
Like you're making me not like you even more because you keep. Like, what is this?
Like you're pushing something.
But men are. I think men are used to women. Again, women valuing them based on money.
They accept the bribery.
But then when you are the woman that says, "Shawty, wait a minute, come on, nigga, we good." Like, let me. Then it's kind of like, "Oh, I like the way I like how this feels."
He didn't like it.
Like, you want to get to know. He might.
I think it's his culture too, because he's full blown.
Yeah, maybe
African.
it's a cultural difference.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm not feeling like you're making me like you even less because you keep trying to give me money, and now I feel like a prostitute or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is? No, please keep your money. Leave me alone at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we definitely got you guys' input tonight.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I feel like I asked you guys a lot of questions, a nice amount of questions. Now I'm gonna let you guys ask some questions.
Okay.
Not specifically for me, but I want you guys to get off of your chest some questions that you guys have for us as a collective group.
Questions.
So, you guys think about that.
Going through my think tank.
Oh, I got one already.
Okay.
So I know 2020 for a lot of people is a very challenging year.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you feel like? What do y'all feel like were the lessons outside of like COVID stuff? What were the lessons that you took from 2020?
That was a good question.
And this comes back to independence. Never put yourself or your life in anybody else's hands.
That's so true.
You have to live life for how you see it and what you want out of it. And I'm gonna just leave it right there.
That's good.
Look at me trying to think back. That's how you going through at that time. Let me think.
Girl, you know, Kobe, you know, unemployment was coming through strong.
Okay.
And that's $783 a week.
Listen, they denied me. That's okay.
Oh Lord, man.
For me, 2020 was like a pivotal point for me.
Yeah.
Cause I have been used to like doing things that I felt like when other people talk about, I'm like, oh, she doing what she's supposed to do. She going to work. She taking care of her kid. She come home or whatever. But then I just like, I'm not happy.
I want to do
Pause
more
everything.
than that.
Like just stop everything. I'm not happy. And I don't want to do none of this no more. I'm not going to do the church activities every other day, take up all my free time. I just want to be free. And I just quit everything. I quit my job, everything else. I just quit.
And it's accepted because people were working anyway.
Right. I can't. I just need to. Let me hit the reset button. And at that point, it was like, I know people talking about me and they're saying, what's she doing? How's she doing? But I just got to do this for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And I'm glad, even though I'm not nowhere near where I want to be, but I feel like now I have a clearer mind.
Yeah.
So it's like I know where I'm trying to go now. Before it was like, I don't know, I'm just living life and doing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So.
And when you say that, that comes to, you were also probably worried about what people were thinking.
I was.
And that comes back to when we were at the table at dinner talking about you can't worry about what people say because that's a crutch as well. Because worrying about what people say will hold you back. I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff. I have gotten to the point where I will not like certain people's posts or pictures on social media. And the reason is because I have sat around people and I have literally seen a like notification or a love notification come through, and they automatically start talking about the person that liked the photo. You get where I'm going? It's just things like that. It's the world we live in, but still, it's things that hold you back once you've seen it.
Got you.
Y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from, though? Say, for instance, Bonquisha, she got on a badass dress. Blah, blah, blah. And I like the photo. Oh, Tay just like my photo. But he a hating ass bitch though. But Tay just like my photo. He probably did it off.
You like my photo, but you ain't text me.
But you ain't text me. It's just stuff like that. We're too worried about what people think about us.
You like my photo, but you ain't leave a comment. You must be hating.
That's true. For me, I think 2020. So 2020 was on the brink of me moving back home. I wasn't working. Right before I ended my relationship, I had quit work. I was just at a place where mentally I could not function. I was like, forget everything that's supposed to be at this moment in my life. I need to focus on me. I was like, God, you have to take the wheel in this one. Cause I just, I couldn't function. And so I had moved back home, which was already, I had always said I wasn't moving back home, but I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I need to be around people that could kind of measure my temperature as needed. You know what I mean? I knew if I was by myself, I was gonna be depressed. It was just gonna be too much. So I moved back home, and then financially too. Still had to go back home. I wasn't working. Pandemic hit, and I feel like it made me be still. Whereas it may have been just that much easier in the beginning of the pandemic to go party and have fun. I really had to sit with my thoughts and I journaled. I used to work out outside, and I remember looking up in the sky. The sky was so freaking blue that it just gave me chills from in those moments. And I think 2020 really taught me the importance of spirituality. It was always something that I had kind of thought that I had a hold on, but 2020, my spirituality grew. I expanded so much. I was reading different stuff, journaling, just manifesting certain stuff. And then as 2020 went on, I had fun. And it taught me it's okay to step outside of what you're used to in terms of I have been in a relationship for 10 years. So just doing stuff that I think a lot of people had done in their early 20s, stupid stuff going out and then coming home, getting 30 minutes of sleep, getting
and going to work the next morning.
I had that experience. It was late in but I had that experience. Just small stuff like that. And then I don't watch the news. I had I was big on not watching the news at
Girl, I
first.
love the news. I gotta catch the 11 o'clock special tonight.
No.
But now, like, really watching, like, just how the pandemic played out, I don't watch news because I don't want. There's a such thing as, like, it's called fear mongering, where, like, we kind of allow how different stories are presented to us. I mean, the energy of the reporter, where they get excited in the story, or the media is
really taught to judge. They're really taught to judge.
I think well, I kind of think it's like
it's
mass control too, right?
And
so like I've always like not watched news because it made me anxious, and I just couldn't say like it really made me upset at times to see how easily people were swayed during the pandemic. That's a whole nother story, but it just really taught me to stand in what I believe, to like really place because if you think about it, regardless of what they say on the news, what's going to happen is going to happen anyway. And in those situations where like the pandemic was something we were all facing for the first time, we ain't had the answers and won't know what we could do either way. So let the shit just hit me. Like I don't need to be worked up to the point of, you know, not being able to function or not wanting to go out and do nothing, waiting for this big thing to happen.
And it's confusing. Yeah. Because at the beginning of the pandemic, I wasn't even going to get vaccinated. Let me tell y'all, I was so against vaccination. Had even quit a job because they had told me that I had to get vaccinated. Ended up getting another job. Got the damn vaccine.
Why you got vaccinated though?
So I could keep my job.
Right. So for me, that's more so of we gotta be in positions where we can make decisions
on our own.
Right.
Without that. That's what I'm trying to get to the point. Because I know in the next few years, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing without no vaccination. Let me get to the point where I can still make my money.
That means start your own business. Start your own business.
I ain't gonna lie, they can get, when it comes to traveling, I don't like to be boxed in. So I think if they say, well, Chunkies, you can't go nowhere without poke me, give me the pokey. And I just detox or something after that. But that's the only thing that will really make me be like, but I feel like this is the point in our lives where we got to start to stand for things we really believe in. Yeah. Even if it don't make sense to other people, because you know people, oh, you get that. Okay, you will get vaccinated. Yeah. Take care of that for you. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. And so like just being able to stand on the things that we believe in without it being conditional based on our ability to like not work or work for somebody else or not work for you know what I'm trying to say, like it not being
build your own corporation, because at the end of the day we working for the next man. That at the end of the day, if anything ever happened to that corporation, they're gonna just send us a little email saying that the building closing down next week.
That's exactly what happened at my job that I quit.
Really?
As soon as I quit, they shut down the whole department.
But you got a severance?
I got severance though. Yes, I got blessed. I got severance pay for 12 weeks. Those 12 weeks.
That's a good example of how like stuff looks like it's the worst thing, but
the whole time you think he's tearing it apart.
And that's why I always believe like every time I leave a place, and that's another thing. When people mess with you,
listen.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this too. When we was leaving today, Wawa, and it was a car beside you. It was an SUV.
The white SUV.
Yes. And then as soon as she got in front of you, she ended up running over the curb. I said, "That's what she did." I said, "That's instant karma."
I tell people that that's why I promise y'all, I don't let shit. I don't let stuff. I mean, I'm human. Of course, sometimes I'm tested and I'm like, all right.
Right.
But like when it comes, like my coworkers ask, why you don't let this bother you? Because I know, like, I'm protected. Right. Like I don't have to do nothing, and that's not me wishing back. Wow, but I always pray. My prayers are always, Lord, help me to like function in the face of my enemies, either strengthen me or remove them. And without fail, like I promise y'all, it never fails. Like anybody, I mean, I don't even need to know what they're doing, but you pick up on people energy. You know they moving silly. Yeah. And that's always my prayer. Remove people that's not supposed to be in my remove them and give me the strength to deal with them not being there no more. And it always happens. That's deep. That's real. Deep. Yep. That is really so deep. Real. Before you know it, they done left.
I have a work relationship. Period. I have not a work relationship, but one of the bigger bosses, I kind of think she's racist. I do. I come out of my office, she never speaks. But she will speak once in a while, but it's only a hey. So one day she called me and she asked me to help her move a chair from a certain spot. No, that's not in my job description, but me and Tay, I'm going to go and help on I'm going to go and help on the east side.
Immobile.
So,
I'm not moving no chair.
That is not what
That
I
is
was
not
hired
in the
for.
black and white.
Open the
man.
door? That's not my job description.
Right, I'm an activities coordinator, not a janitor.
You gotta move the chairs to get the activities coordinator tag.
But at the end of the day, I feel like she's so rude and she's so disrespectful. But y'all, I had literally said to myself, I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna let God handle it.
Love the hell out of her.
Yep.
And that's gonna work on your pride.
But
too.
you know, I always try, I say to myself, I'm a killer with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a killer with kindness. But every time I always say, hey, how are you? She might not speak. I keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I never let it get past me.
Yeah.
That's what I
Do you feel like you're the main character in her story?
Maybe.
What I mean by that is, like, everybody that we encounter is always thinking about stuff that really pertains to them. Like, what if she, God forbid, what if she got a mom that's dying of cancer? What if she got a son that's bad as hell and she at her wit's end? She a single parent. She don't know how to do
But
that.
what does that have to do with speaking to me?
But Tay, in those situations, that may be the last. Have you ever done something or had somebody come around and say, you know, I saw you on my Facebook, you ain't speak back, and you, for the life of you, you can't. I'm not trying to justify. If she's really being rude, I'm not trying to justify that. But something that's helped me is taking, like, not making me the main character in people's stories. Like, people got shit, real life stuff going on.
Yeah.
But
does your real life stuff going on in your life prevent you from treating another person with kindness? Because at the end of the day, that's probably the reason you're going through stuff, because you don't have respect for the next person.
That is not true. I mean, it could be. Take it. Don't make you're not the main character in her story. And what I've learned too is, in those situations, I'm going to be judged off of my character. When you know the right thing to do, regardless of what somebody else is doing to you or how they, and this is not easy, but it's all about growing. You still, even if she don't speak back, you still speak to her, because you know what's going to happen. Think about, like, when I go out to dinner with my friends, if we have a bad waitress, I'm gonna tip him or her extra well, because you know why?
It makes them feel certain.
At the end of the night, when you thinking about the fact that I left you however much and you know you gave me bad service, that's gonna make them reflect in the same way that they would have. Like, if they really know what they're doing, that is gonna make them reflect on how they acting more than me. Not they expect
you
that from me.
Yeah.
They expect me not to leave them a good tip because they know they was true. I'm gonna leave you a good tip because my blessings don't come for you at the end of the day. So now you're going to be held accountable for how you treated me, but the fact that I in turn was able to still walk in integrity and treat you the way that I would want to be treated in that situation, or the way that you treat people just being a good human being, I'm going to be blessed for that. And not to say we do stuff to be blessed, but I think that's a part of walking in integrity. Integrity means that you do what's right regardless of, like, when people are not watching. And you don't let people sway who you are as a human being.
That's very
Don't ever let nobody leave a situation being able to say that you acted in less than. Hey, worry about Bobby walking the steps. Don't ever let nobody. I say don't ever let nobody F you off your square.
Yeah, that's true. I teach my daughter all the time. I be like, do the right thing, whether people see you do it or not. That's like, that's what makes you a good person.
It is.
That's why you're doing the right thing, or it's like making you or challenging you to grow. Because think about how easy it is to get on somebody's level.
Yep, and it's the thing too, karma. Because my life philosophy, this is what I live by. If I don't live by nothing else, treat others the way you want to be treated. So what if I was having a bad day, I was being rude, I would still want somebody to be kind to me. Because like she said, you don't know what people going through. So there's, working in customer service, there's times where I'm just having a bad day and I just don't even want you to say hi to me. Like, I don't want to speak to the customers and they don't know what I'm going through, right? But then
you hold it up as best as you can.
Right. And it's like, they might think I have an attitude. It's not even you. I'm just done for today. You know what I'm saying? And they like, she got an attitude. Like, man, I don't have an attitude. I'm just having a bad day. And I'm about to break down crying. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know.
I've been there in the bathroom crying.
Right.
Give me 30
seconds. They don't even know. It's like, I'm just
give me 30 seconds just to cry. I come back out.
To get to work.
Don't even ask me why my eyes red when I get out the break room.
That's true. And I have people like come to me and be like, are you okay? And it just, it does something. So you could be that light. And there's been a lot of times when I've worked in hostile environments. Like, a lot of the places when I first, and I feel like that's another thing. You might be there for a reason. And for me, I've realized that, like, when I was telling you, when I leave places, people always come to me and say, you you know what I'm saying, don't tell me how I impacted the place.
Mm-hmm.
You could change it.
Yeah.
Like when I go into places, it be crazy when I first walk in there. People, nobody speaks, there's no teamwork, there's nothing.
And you
Good
gotta be
morning.
the happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm. And I be the person, I was like, oh girl, and I bring people together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So that could
That's
be you.
true.
You could change her. She could be a nice person by the time you leave.
And that's purpose. Like sometimes we think about purpose as this big, elaborate, I'm gonna sit in this room and I'm gonna make these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I think purpose, it can be as small as that. Like being the light. And you don't know what kind of people like us she's run into in the past. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she had a bad experience where I think sometimes as like we are often grouped
Mm-hmm.
as a culture, we are often grouped. And so like maybe you say she might be racist, you can be the black person where she can go home and sit at her kitchen table and say, you know, all black people ain't like that. 'Cause I know Delonte.
And I used to be mean to him. He was still nice to me.
Right.
And you might get a raise, get a promotion. Like, you know what, Delonte, you gonna be the one.
And I'm gonna
This
tell
is
you,
the show, man.
at my first job, one of the guys that was on my caseload, he was an ex-Klan member.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I never thought I would have a connection with a black person, a black woman, the way that I have with you. Why?
Mhm.
Because I'm like,
It's the
I just,
personality
yeah.
and everything.
And so now I'm the person that, like we was talking about, when he go back to his family or whoever he corral with, he can say, well, actually, nah, I know this black girl, or I know this black person. Not all of them are like that. And I think that's part of, like, we have to take responsibility for that too. Just like oftentimes, you hear people group other cultures in one way, or we see them. Like, we have to take responsibility for being that one person that just might change the trajectory of how people, like, we're seen as people.
That's true.
And that's just how, I think
Wow,
life, we
this
complicate
is deep.
life. Like, we tend to complicate life because, no, I shouldn't have to da-da-da. No, but sometimes being realistic, just like within our own culture, we have to develop a certain or a different mindset than what we were taught by our parents or by people that helped raise us. It's the same thing. We don't know what they were taught. We don't know the kind of people they have come into contact with.
Right.
So I don't see it as like a job where, I shouldn't have to. No, I'm gonna be a nice person because that's who I am. And if you vibe with it, if you catch the vibe, good for you. If not, better luck
It
next
is what
time.
it
But
is.
that's not gonna change how I interact with you.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, don't let people change you.
Mhm.
That's what I
That's
learned.
different.
That's another thing I learned. Because, going through some of the stuff I went through, being a parent or whatever, I was afraid. I was like, I don't want to become bitter. Like, I was so afraid. I'm like, I'm about to become bitter and angry. And I saw myself kind of going that direction. I was like, oh my God, I have to change this because I don't want to be bitter.
Mhm.
So I had to learn how to, even though people may not deserve your kindness,
Mhm.
I have to do this for me.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's about, I don't feel like when I'm nasty to people, I don't feel good
Me
because I
either.
know that you have control. You
Mhm.
got me off my square.
Yeah.
I don't even act like this, but you got me turning
And
up,
I'm
and
the
I'm
type of
mad.
person, when I'm nasty with a person, I will literally go back,
I've done that before.
apologize.
Mhm.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
too.
and that's hard, especially when you know the person did you wrong.
Right.
Since when you start apologizing?
Keeping that in there.
Oh wait.
But see, you different. You got him in a different space.
I will apologize.
I'm sorry.
Who you on the phone with?
Why?
Let that man be on the phone.
She said, why you
Trust.
worry about it?
Trust.
She said,
Trust.
And then you take a
Stick to that.
sip. Go ahead.
Trust. Anybody, say it with me. Trust. Everybody, trust.
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 Trust and believe.
So Bob about to leave, so y'all gotta stay here with me until Bob get back.
He's scared to stay in the house by himself.
Ain't nothing to help him get him.
You got all them dogs out there in the garage.
They Yorkies.
That's okay.
They
They
ain't
don't
They
know
don't
know what
know
kind
bark.
of dog is right. All they hear is barking.
Zoe ass bark when she hear anything. Penny drop.
I was ready to run. I said, oh, no.
Me too. What is that?
Oh, they in the cage. Okay.
All right, y'all. So we definitely had a deep conversation here. I hope somebody was impacted by this conversation. I hope it helped you guys become better through the information that was given today. It definitely helped me because I learned a few things that I didn't know. And I want to thank Chantrice Sherelle. Your girl.
Anytime. Tay, I know this yours, but I have to say, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, we've been talking about this forever.
Forever. For a
But
couple years
I
now.
really feel like this is your lane. This is what
Mhm.
people are going to really see, like your heart. They're going to see your spirit.
Mhm.
This it.
I appreciate it. And I really do appreciate it. And I want to thank you, Constance,
Yes,
a.k.a.
this
Connie
is
J,
perfect.
Which one?
a.k.a. Miss Jackson.
She knows.
Nasty. Nasty.
Miss Nasty Jackson. Or is it Jackson Nasty? But y'all, I definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in. Share, like. And you guys might hear me saying that I really appreciate you guys so much. And the reason that I say it a lot is because if it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. If we didn't have an audience, we would be talking to ourselves.
Do that sometime.
I do that sometimes.
You make it sound like a bad.
I will talk
I be
to
arguing with
myself
somebody
all day. I'll walk around the house. So you gonna put that right there? You gonna put that right there?
No, but when I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say is
right.
right.
I'm say what I just
Has
said.
anyone ever practiced an argument?
Yes, I practice arguments. I practice when I go on a date. What I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay.
How am I gonna hug?
To the fuck
Am I gonna do the up hug or the?
But wait, this means if I hit him with this, you know he got some work to do.
Right, like you just a friend.
The church. What happened?
So,
Oh, I think
I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for being so supportive. And I also want to thank you guys for being you. Realize that there's nothing better than being your true, authentic self.
That's it right there.
You guys have just tuned in to Street Talk. Got your girl Shantri Sherelle and your girl Constance, aka Nasty Jackson. We will be back.
Wait a minute.
That ain't nasty now.
It get worse every time you say Miss Jackson, if you nasty, now you just nasty.
That was nasty.
Nasty. I like
Yes,
it nasty.
Oh my god.
Y'all, but I appreciate you guys tuning into Street Talk. I will be back next week with a different cast. Maybe I shouldn't say cast, but with a different host.
Wait, was we your first guest?
Yes, you guys were. So I need to say something about that.
Oh, we was your first
I want to
guest.
thank these two because these two are my first guests.
Oh.
So they will be looking back in about 2 years.
Don't put no time limit on God.
I ain't
Okay.
gonna put no time
Ricky
limit on
might call
God.
you.
It could be 2
something.
days because
Mhm.
Ricky Smiley, I really want that morning show position.
You gonna get it today.
Let's go. But I want to thank you guys for joining Street Talk. I will be back next week with some more guests, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversations. Thank you.
Take my mic. Take my mic.
Don't you wanna dance? Oh.
Oh.
What did you just do for the neck up? Look.
Ass. Guess who? Get my ass.
Guess who?
Guess who?
I don't
Special
know.
guest. This is cool.
Guess
Tay,
who?
what you in there rummaging through?
Another
A
video.
highlight. I mean,
Tay got the whole studio in the stew.
No.
You got the biggest laptop. You a natural. Ask these questions off the noggin.
Okay.
Conversation like we were just having.
Okay. So I don't need the laptop.
No, you're a natural.
She said dead.
And Chantrice, when you edit this video, I need it to be on the money.
On the money, money on.
And you gonna start editing all my videos. I'll pay you a weekly fee.
Okay. You gotta have it to me by like Monday though.
Okay.
Sunday.
That's perfect.
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
So what's up, y'all? It's your boy Tay Street, aka Finance Apprentice, aka Life of the Party, aka if it's a drink, I'ma have it. Yeah, put it in the bloopers.
Check my money. It's hot. I done got drunk, tipsy on the set. I would never make it in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you
That's
would.
how they do it.
That's how they. I know Taraji was high her whole Empire season.
Oh,
I knew it. I knew it.
Is the
We would.
is the camera straight?
Imagine if we made a show together.
You look like you about to knit a blanket.
Yeah, take that off,
Come on,
Suge Mug.
Charlotte.
I look like a
You
match.
too.
This is my chinchilla.
Who got the keys to my Bama? Hey, don't get me started. Rap Association. You might got a better angle tag. I like your angle better. Is mine crooked? It looked like it's sitting sideways like Paul Wall, ain't it?
That's stupid.
Do my shit look crooked? Production.
Yes, just a little.
Just quite
Yours looking tipsy sideways too, but I'm tipsy, so I don't know what to look. I don't know what to trust.
We need somebody's phone so I can put this on Instagram production and like on my story. You know,
House is the only one that get a hundred phones.
you get what I'm saying?
Trap phone at the house.
Oh, you got a trap phone for real?
Girl, bye.
Girl.
That's her Instagram though.
No, she gonna tag me in it so I can share it on my
That's
story.
it. Let me get on Insta tonight and share it. might pop out.
What's wrong with your laptop?
No, Chantrese, something.
Oh.
Step outside your comfort zone like we doing. We don't know the questions.
Okay. I ain't gonna remember shit.
Don't be trying to have an upper
Alright,
hand.
that looks better.
Everybody level playing field.
I think we had a filter.
Yours, mine. Oh,
That's
let me
better.
look at my hair real quick.
Filming in progress.
Hold on one second,
You
y'all.
want that filter?
No.
I wanna get
Oh, it was on a filter.
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing.
But it's me that gets the power. Yours, mine, ours.
What you think?
I can
Don't
do
give them too
this
much,
for
but they get
hours.
ready.
Sit and talk to you for hours. I wanna get
You need
your flowers.
Some words when y'all ready or something. Conscious, what you think?
No. Filming in progress.
Yep. Filming Fridays. Fridays are for filming.
Filming. Just off the
That's the mark.
off the top.
Off the noggin.
Okay.
Fridays are
The
for
NOG.
filming.
Fridays
Yeah.
off for filming.
Trademark that. I gotta make a logo go with that. Lord, give us
Pray.
help us
Somebody
reach
pray.
somebody. Y'all got OxyClean because I always this shit on.
You want to order some OxyClean.
Trust me when I say.
Oh, y'all, but let me tell y'all, I got some of the flyest, most interesting people in RBA. I got your girl Chantrese, and I got your girl.
Run that shit back. You ain't putting my government in.
I need a drink. I need a smoke.
Oh, hell
I need
no.
a drink to choke my throat.
Run that shit back. Take two. Like nigga,
But it was so good though.
That was
It
good. I could cut it.
Mhm.
But shit,
Mhm.
Chantrese Sherrill. That's my stage
Chantrese
name.
Sherrill.
That's my.
What's your stage name?
Connie J.
I say that, Miss Jackson, if you nasty. I like
Okay.
that shit right there.
Connie J. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tay, aka Finance Apprentice, Tay, aka Life of the Party, aka if it's a drink, I'ma have it. Y'all, I ain't got no drink right now, but let me tell y'all, I got some of the most interesting people in RBA. They trying to make a difference, y'all. They gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen. I got your girl Chantrese Sherrill and your girl Bonnie J. Bonnie J.
Who the fuck is Bonnie J? And we gotta move this camera because I'm looking at this camera.
Oh,
that
yeah,
camera's
it's so
on the
many.
side
Alright.
of my- Put that one right behind that one. Bonnie J. Who next?
Huh?
I don't know. That's
Oh, you can look at both of them.
No. What?
Hmm?
Put it more on this angle because I'm looking at this.
Y'all know what I need. I need like a little
Maybe we
more
should
color.
leave like that because then I could go in between the angles. Ain't
Yeah.
I'm be looking at this one the whole time.
I need a note.
I like that paint right there too.
Yeah.
What's the website for the artwork?
You can down for Amazon.
When I look at people put stuff together, I'm like, how you think of that? I wouldn't have had two facing each other.
Yeah.
One sitting up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Right.
Hello, you guys. This is Bobby.
I know, Bobby. Let's stress you out of that.
Who?
I don't let that stress me out. I like taking
I
people
don't know, 'cause
stuff.
you was up here when you was on the phone, so all of that Bobby
You're
stress.
supposed to turn this on, right? Y'all fool. Y'all drunk. I'm the
You
only
sound
one.
like
that-
JJ. Y'all drunk.
Yeah, my nephew.
Sure is. That sounds like him.
Cheers to my first guest.
Take my mic.
Let's go. We did that, y'all.